Hello, let me turn this music off so I don't hear from the brain police. Hello, it is winter solstice, right? The 21st of December. Do I have that right? The shortest day of the year. Happy Yule to you folks. In my personal history, I stopped celebrating Christmas, and then when I started to help a family raise their kids who were pagan, I became familiar with Wicca, and so I've celebrated Yule with them many years. Beautiful times, beautiful times. What I was listening to is this promo CD I have that I pulled yesterday to play with my brother, Miles Davis, the remixes of a remix album that was put out in 1999 with a drum and bass focus, remixing Miles Davis tunes. I think the most successful remix on here is On the Corner by Bill Laswell. That's what I was listening to. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Yule, Hanukkah's over, Kwanzaa's about to come up, whatever else you celebrate, celebrate it. I'm here to share that I got some gifts, music, and a gift. I don't know this person. This came from someone in Georgia, I think. A book, a journal. This is nice. I guess he thought I would like it because it says, "Put the needle on the record." Isn't that an LL Cool J sample? I'm not sure. I write, but I write on the computer. I draw, and I do still write longhand because I noticed a while back that I haven't written in a long time and I'm starting to lose it. Have you done that? Make sure you can still write. Can your children write? Can your grandchildren write? It is a skill that's being lost, as well as objective thinking. That's about gone already. Folks, if you haven't picked up on it by now, I'm a character. I'm an individual, and I'm sweet and salty, like all people. So just to understand what I'm about to say, you ought to realize I'm going to say it because this is who I am. Thank you, folks, who give me feedback. But to my sister, she was saying she thought she understood my expectation regarding my song. It was not an expectation that brought the disappointment. I want to point this out because I like clarity, but I also dislike being misunderstood. Okay? My lament was not about expectation. Quite simply, it was about desire. And what does Buddhism teach us about desire? It's the cause of all suffering. I'm a human. I know these wise things, but I still struggle with them. I said it clearly, I want people to listen to my music. It's a desire. I think it's good, and I wish people would listen. It wasn't an expectation. Just wanted to clarify, Stephanie. And then a couple other folks chimed in about, lamenting about the numbers and trying to explain it and this and that. That's fine, folks, but I'm entitled to the way I see things, and I'm also entitled to share it with you. My position needs no correction. Not saying you're trying to correct me, but that's how it comes off. It's like, just let me say my piece, Probably that's what you would do in my position, but this is what I'm doing in my position. Okay? Don't correct me. Or leastways, that's how it feels. I had it out with a friend on Facebook not so long ago. We go back to high school. And he's a retired city county prosecutor. Love the guy, but he's straight, And I just, he'll sometimes make comments to me on Facebook as though he's correcting me, or as though he's telling me, well, Dereck, you're just not seeing it right. This is the way to see it. And I beg to differ. No one is an expert on anything. Even if you know how to build a rocket, you know that, but you still don't have the right to try to tell me how to see life, which is what people try to do. You try to tell each other which way the wind blows. I always qualify it. I share with you my thoughts and my perspective. That's all it is. I ain't telling you what to do or what to think. And I highly resent others doing that to me, because you don't know shit. Take it and feel that. It's the truth. I don't know shit. Okay, so music, right? Are you still with me? See, like I said, I'm not running a popularity contest. I'm just Dereck at home. I'm at home. That's why I don't bother with requests. I'll tell you what I want, and I'll do what I want. I'm not here. Okay, so a couple days ago, I received a couple of packages. Dave Newhouse says, I don't send you stuff to review. I send you stuff because I know you like the music. Thank you, Dave Newhouse. He sent me his latest release. I've only just touched the surface, but I want to tell you about it. Beauty is in the Distance, Romantic Suite. This is a new piece that includes Brother Dave Newhouse right there on the bass clarinet with some Italian folks. Now, I've only touched the surface. He said you don't have to review this. I know that, Dave. But I appreciate the gift and the music. You are a musician whose sound I recognize and appreciate very much. This is not light listening. This is not cheap entertainment. This is really, really thick, and I haven't quite got there yet. I've only dropped the needle on it, as you say. But I'm acknowledging, Dave. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, and I really appreciate it. I received a package from Anthony Ferraro, who just likes to give people stuff, so he's always sending me records. He knows what to send me. Anthony, thank you. I'll consider this my Christmas present, as well as this, since I don't do the gift exchange thing. It's just pretty meaningless to me. It's just commercialism. It has no meaning. Some traditions can put meaning into life. Buying presents is not a tradition that means anything to me. So, Anthony Ferraro bought this and sent it to me. Told me he was going to send it to me. This is a recent release by David Torn with Sonar. Transportation Volume 1. It's an in-studio improvisation. I've only listened to one side of it, so I can't really give it a good review. I love that you sent it to me. I love David Torn's work. This is on a nice colored vinyl. I like the graphics. I love good graphics as well as good music, but I really like this cover. So I really appreciate this, and I'll be jumping into that in a minute. The thing that he sent me that I've already devoured, because Richard Sinclair is one of my favorite musicians. This came out in 1994, but was finally released on LP vinyl last year. Richard Sinclair of Caravan and many other groups. Hatfield in the North, RSVP. This is wonderful. Thank you so much, Anthony, for sending this to me. Canterbury is truly one of my favorite types of music. It's a type of sound. It's a feeling. It's a sound. I also took the sticker off the plastic and mounted it on here. Double LP, 180 gram pressed in Italy. I like the Italian pressing. This is a gorgeous piece of work. Every song. I enjoy the way that Richard Sinclair writes words too. It's very conversational, and he doesn't take himself too seriously at all. This is wonderful, wonderful work. Thank you so much, Anthony Ferraro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll go until I can't remember what it is I'm always forgetting. Besides the work that I do here in my house on music and just keeping myself occupied, one of the things I use the internet for is to continue to just, how will I put it? It's not that so much that I'm looking for new music, because I don't need any more music, but it's just part of what I've always done. So I like discovering stuff, especially stuff from the past, in particular the 70s. There was so much neat music that people made not to become stars, but because they needed to make this good music. And it's just still waiting to be discovered. I discovered two this week, somehow. DJ Bonin, L'Arbre Vert. If I mentioned this in the last video, I don't remember, but somehow I stumbled on the cover of this or something, caught my attention, and I went on YouTube and listened to it. Really like it. Melodic, guitar-driven, bubbly synthesizers. It's that magical kind of sound that's just somewhere outside of cosmic music, krautrock, and almost new age. Lovely, lovely. I'm struggling to think of someone you might have heard of that I could compare it to. So I discovered this, and then I discovered this. I think another Frenchman, Dominique Guillot, Le Univers de la Mer, the universe of the sea. I had never heard of this either. And this is beautiful. Just what I like. Just lovely. Just lovely. I love that. Someone shared with me that they're a haiku poet. Very cool. Yeah, I think haiku is... That's how I see a lot of my music. What am I struggling with here? It's like a lot of what's on my mind has to do with the mental social landscape that we're dealing with. What I mean is we're all living in this world assuming that what we see physically is what everyone else sees and feels, which science has gotten to the point where it realizes that's just not the case. It's perception. It's all up here. But I just sometimes want to just try to share more thoughts along those lines regarding the quandary that we're in, especially with regard to politics, how psychologically we're being played so badly, and just the average person just can't see it. Everything is, through the media, painted either red or blue, Republican or Democrat, left or right. Everything in the media being discussed, those words pop out. You can't go 1 minute without hearing those terms. And I'm telling you, I am just, frustratingly aware of the psychological impact of this, and the fact that it works so well that the great number of people, including many of you watching this now, are oblivious to it. It's being done to us. It's a psychological attack. And it has a lot to do with why things are such a mess and why we keep spinning in circles instead of someone with a lot of media power and resources could just buy some time and say, hey, really getting tired of this now. I'd really like to get a public discourse going where we're talking about solutions and not partisanship. We're not talking about stuff. We're talking about concern, about rebuilding infrastructure for the future. This stuff is on my mind a lot, so I'm always trying to verbalize it better, because again, I'm just flabbergasted how the average person seemingly doesn't see the forest for the trees, and people are literally at each other's throats about thoughts and can't even slow down enough to become more objective about those thoughts that are making you think that your brother and sister are your enemy. You know what I'm saying? That's what's on my mind, okay? Last thing I'll say is I'm working hard on this dance piece. We're meeting again tonight. It's a big challenge. I'm going to meet it. I am meeting it, but it's a process, and this is not easy. I want to please this dance troupe. The leader knows what she wants and doesn't. And that's the challenge of creating art. We're going to get it done. All right, that's where I'm at today.